and welcome to Meet the Candidates. I'm glad you've joined us. It is election time again here in the city of Flint, and we're going to do our best to talk to as many of the candidates as we can. Get them in front of you so that you can get a little bit of a feel for what they're about, what they want to do. We want to remind you that not only are we going to play this on local public access channel 17, but it'll be available on WFOV.
Hello. Hi, my name is Santino Guerra. I'm running for 3rd Ward City Council in the city of Flint. And I'm eager to help out in the city. I've been really thriving towards doing positive things and helping out with many types of things. We have many issues that I'd like to address today while talking to many of you. And I want to tell you a little bit about myself and go on from where I started when I was little, what I want to do in the future, and what I have done in the past.
Okay. So now the first thing I've got to clear up, you're not 12, are you? How old are you, man?
I am 19.
You're 19 years old?
Almost, yeah.
Nice.
19 years
19 years old. Okay, cool. So, are you originally from Flint?
I am originally from Flint. I was born over on the Dorton Carpenter area, over there behind Carpenter Road Schools.
Okay.
And then currently I moved over to the Rollingwood area, which is off Dorton Stewart, on that side of town.
Okay, and you lived there all 19 years of your life?
For the majority of my life, I have lived there. I have left the city of Flint a couple times. I worked out in Washington, D.C., and I ended up coming back to Flint to further my education.
Okay, let's talk about it. What is your education?
I actually went to the preschool down there by Johnson Schools,
okay,
over on Western Road, and then I went on to early elementary at Washington Schools over on the east side of Flint.
All right.
I continue to go to Ridgefield Public School Academy over on it's over the northeast side of Flint, over on Ridgefield Road.
Okay.
And I ended up graduating from Kersley High School.
Okay.
And then I am currently a pre-law student at the University of Michigan Flint, double majoring in criminal justice and sociology.
Well, you don't have anything to do you? Huh? The word overachiever comes to mind here?
I have tried to achieve as much as I possibly can.
Nice. Well, you're running for city council, and that just boggles my mind. Why are you doing that?
I want to run for city council because of the things that I've seen when I was younger. I lived in a home with a single mother for the majority of my life, and we were, my mom lived paycheck to paycheck. I seen the neighbors struggle every day, like I said, to put ramen noodles on the table just to feed their kids.
Mm-hmm.
I spent a lot of time with my grandparents because my mom was always at work trying to make sure that we had food and clothes on our back. My father was involved in a bad path of life, so to say. He's currently incarcerated. He got locked up in '99. So seeing things like that in my life, seeing the rough parts of Flint, seeing the hardships that we had to deal with, really drive me to go into politics and public service in general. When I was little, about 2 years old, I always told my grandma I wanted to be a top, which meant I wanted to be a cop. I always liked, I liked the flashy cars, and I liked what they wanted to do. And I was really inspired, so to say, to make a difference in my community, whether that be big or small. And then as I got older, I decided that the best way to make that big impact on our community would be going into politics and going into that type of public service as well. But I am majoring, like I said, in criminal justice, so in case I don't go into politics, I still do plan on going into the criminal justice field.
Okay, all right. I mean, it's not a bad backup plan, I guess, if you're going to have a backup plan, right?
Right.
So, did you explain how you got into politics there?
No, I did not. I actually got into politics when I was about 14 years old.
Okay.
My grandpa, Sisto Olivo, took me to Congressman Dale Kilday's retirement dinner.
Okay.
And I liked to joke around and say I got into politics because they had good food at the dinner, which they did have some pretty good food. But I liked what he had to say. I liked the messages that he was talking about, the things that he talked about doing in the city, how he started at the levels of politics, the types of things that he was fighting for so that the everyday person could live in a positive type of world and fighting towards those things. So I was really inspired by the words that he said at that retirement dinner. So I decided to go into politics even more, and my grandpa actually took me to Pam Ferris, who is a state representative right now, and she was running for state rep, her first campaign, and he dropped me off at her campaign office, and I knew absolutely nobody there. And the first day I was stuffing envelopes and really getting involved and talking to people about how the political process works, and they asked me, do you want to come back and do this again tomorrow? And I had nothing to do the next day, so I said yeah. So I decided to go back, and then after that I ended up canvassing the areas, which is going door to door, talking to constituents, really getting involved in the political realm, seeing how people felt day to day or at their homes. We went to their homes, they didn't come to us. We asked them how they felt, the things that they wanted to address, and that really inspired the types of things that I wanted to do. So I started working towards politics at different levels. I worked on Phil Phelps' campaign, who also ran He also was a state representative for the other side of Flint. And then I even worked for the county commissioner, Ellen Ellenberg's campaign. So really getting involved in politics is trying to make sure that the people's voices are finally being heard in the city and actually talking to them on their ideas, not just running for office and not telling anybody what's going on.
So how are you going to make the decision? What if you get elected to council and you get your criminal justice degree?
I think I do plan on obtaining my degrees anyways, regardless. It's a double major in criminal justice and sociology. But I do plan on, if I do get elected, to pursuing my career in politics, whether that be at a local level, state level, or even it depends on how well the people support my ambition for that. But I want to. Everybody always joked around, why don't you just wait to run for a different type of office maybe in the future after you graduate? And the way I see it, if I can't help out the people in my ward, in my small part of Flint that I was born and raised at, I can't help out people at another level. So I really want to start locally, get involved, and do as much impact as a positive as we possibly can.
Okay, well, talk to me about some of the issues that are plaguing Flint at the current moment, and what your plans are for addressing them, I guess.
Well, one of the major issues that we have that is known nationally, I've seen it even on today, CNN was talking about it because the Attorney General was discussing our water crisis that we have in the city of Flint.
Okay.
And I think that it's important that we know that they're trying, right now currently they're trying to fix the pipes. Right now they're trying to replace all the pipes. They have their 3-year plan, so to say, how to get all the pipes replaced. But the people are living with this desire where they don't trust their government, so to say. They don't trust the people who were elected by them to represent them anymore. And it's because we live in this day-to-day life where we're not truly understanding what's going on because they're not telling us what's going on. And one of the things that we're trying to do right now is, they want to go over to the pipeline from Detroit, which is going to involve us paying, extra millions of dollars that they're going to pay off our KWA pipeline. So we're going to be getting our water from Detroit, which will cause us, Detroit will basically own the Flint City water at that point, and then we're not going to have any money, so to say. We can't control the water crisis after we switch over there. But it comes down to public distrust. I mean, the majority of the people don't trust drinking their own Flint water, but I think it's important to know that the people will be paying a little more if they don't want to drink the water that's coming out of the Flint River. Also, other issues that I want to address is the blight situation and the abandoned homes that we have in the city of Flint. I mean, even in my neighborhood and lots of people's neighborhoods in the city of Flint, we see abandoned homes all over the place. We see how people, they litter in our communities, and it doesn't make it look as good as it really should be, or as good as it did look in the past. So really addressing those issues like that, and understanding the fact that maybe we may not get everything done, but letting the people know that we're trying to do that. If we can't fix the home or tear it down, at least board the homes up so they don't look like an eyesore to our community, and really addressing other issues like that. And also focusing on the community programs that we already have involved. Lots of communities, while I've been canvassing the area, have block clubs, so to say. And they do a really good job. They're planting community gardens, they're cleaning up their parks, but they don't have any funding, so to say, and they're all doing it on their own. So at least, even if we don't give them even more funding, because it depends on how much funds we can allocate, because the city of Flint doesn't have much funds we can allocate, but actually just honoring them and recognizing them, maybe at a city level, giving them a certificate, letting them know that we do care what they are doing, and do know that we are getting involved with everything they are doing. And even if it comes down to the councilman himself, actually going down there and actually getting involved and cleaning up the community, and I have no problem doing that.
Nice. So, you've got aspirations to be in politics. So you think this is perhaps a stepping stone to the county, and then perhaps the state, and then the federal level?
I think that depends. It's all in the hands of the people, as I like to say. I think if they like what I'm doing, and the people encourage me to have future desires to go on to office, I will more than happily continue that career path as long as I am supported by the people that represent me in the first place. I've already worked out in Washington, D.C. I was actually a United States Senate page under the Obama administration out there back in 2014, and it was a great time. I worked side by side with our nation's leaders. We worked with some of the brightest students from all over the country. We ran legislation.
Just shortly, tell me what are the responsibilities of a page?
We ran legislation from all over the Capitol complex. We set up the podiums for when the senators went to speak. We made sure that they had all the materials that they were going to need. We passed out the congressional record. We were basically there as the aides to the senators on the floor because the majority of the time you can't have staff on the floor. Only senators are allowed on the floor and pages are allowed on the floor. So we made sure that everything got ran on a day-to-day basis and to kind of make sure that democracy was done. And it was amazing to see that firsthand, to see the types of people I got to work with, and just every single day waking up in the nation's capital and seeing all the monuments when I walked to work.
So I'm still more curious. Do they pay pages? Do they house you?
Yeah,
do they feed you?
We are paid. We are paid based over a salary base based on the time that we're there, because we were only there I was there for the summer. It was a summer page program, and we're housed at Webster Hall, which is protected by the Capitol Police, and we have many things like that we live on campus. We live there, so to say, but we walk to work, we walk to the Hart Senate building and then go over to the Capitol complex, which is right around the corner. So it was honestly an amazing
So
experience.
tell me you bumped into Obama.
I did not bump into Obama when he was there, but I did get to go in Joe Biden's office in the Senate. That was a pretty cool time.
Did you?
Really nice building. I worked. I remember talking to like Senators Elizabeth Warren, Carl Levin. I was appointed by Senator Stabenow. So we had to work with all these senators on a day-to-day basis. From both parties, we got to see them. And it was really cool. I remember Marco Rubio held the door open for me once. I thought that was always pretty cool.
Well, you know, it's not hard to say that Flint has a plethora of problems. You mentioned two. Are there any others that you'd like to tackle?
Well, I think there's I like to try to view Flint as a more optimistic type approach and actually looking towards the positives that we have. Viewing like we have so many colleges downtown. We have the University of Michigan, we have Kettering, we have Mott, we have MSU extensions, we have Baker, we have many things coming down. But we do have our issues. It comes down. We have policing issues. We don't have enough police. We have our blight department. Our blight department's underestimated. We have conflicts itself with our elected officials. They tend to argue a lot with one another instead of focusing on the issues that actually matter to the people. So I do think that we do have all these issues, but we also need to focus on the positive things that are coming from Flint and focusing on a more of a positive future that we could possibly address by working together with the people.
Tell me why you're running again.
I'm running so we can really get involved with the people. I think you go door to door, you talk to people. They're happy to see somebody going, talking to them, letting them know what's going on. And I may not be able to accomplish every single thing that we set out to desire because it all depends on the allocation of funds and stuff like that. But I will that if going into this office and getting elected, the reason I'm running is because I know I will get involved. I will let you know what's going on. I will be involved with the community. I am running to try to make a positive difference for Flint and move us in a positive direction, moving Flint forward.
How do you address the issue of age? When they find out you're 19 years old and they say, oh my goodness, you're 19?
Yeah, I have got that a couple of times because they're surprised how young. If I were to be elected, it'd be the youngest city councilman in city history.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I do think that the age thing comes across as an issue. But a lot of people at first it comes across the issues. But once I tell them the political experience that I have, my plan, my outline, the types of things that we want to do, they're impressed by that. They know that I'm not just this young kid running for office, but a kid that has been in politics for several years now and actually has desire. And I think a lot of people want new blood, so to say. They want new ideas, a fresh face, and stuff like that. And I think it's time to give the people what they need.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you a solid 60 seconds or better. I want you to look at that camera and convince people to vote for you. Convince people to help you with your campaign. Tell them how to get a hold of you, okay?
You can get a hold of me by keeping contact. We have Facebook and social media. It's all under Santino J. Guerra. You can message me any concerns or anything like that or any issues like that you'd like to address with me. I think it is important that we get involved. It's time for the people to be heard, to be listened to, and to finally have their voice downtown at City Council. And like I said before, I can't promise fixing everything, but what I can do is promise you that we will try our best and I will work together with you to get the job done.
That was less than 60 seconds. You want to say hi, Ma?
Hi, Mom. Hi, Grandpa. Hi, family. And hi to the constituents that I've talked to the residents.
All right, Santino Guerra.
Yep, Santino Guerra.
Guerra. Nice, man. Impressive. Listen, guys, you're watching me, the candidate.